The Dallas Cowboys have officially packed up from sunny Oxnard, California, and are back in Texas, ready for their second game of the 2025 NFL preseason. On Saturday night, At&T Stadium will be rocking as the Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens in what promises to be another chance for players to prove they belong on the final 53-man roster. For the fans, preseason might not have the same intensity as the regular season, but it's the perfect time to watch position battles unfold and see which players rise when the lights come on. And right now, there's one position that's grabbed all the headlines: running back. When camp began, there was a lot of speculation that the starting RB role would be a tight competition, with names like Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue, and rookie Phil Maffa all in the mix. It looked like the battle could last until the very last preseason snap. But now, before the second preseason game has even kicked off, the Cowboys have made something very clear: Javonte Williams is their guy. The first unofficial depth chart of the summer told the story. Williams was listed as RB1, and all signs point to him leading the backfield when the season starts. This is not a fluke or media-driven rumor, it's the reality in the Cowboys building. Brian Schottenheimer and his staff have seen enough to believe Williams is the man to set the tone in the run game. For those who might not know, Williams spent the first 4 years of his career with the Denver Broncos, posting 2 seasons of over 700 rushing yards despite dealing with injuries and a crowded backfield. His running style, physical, punishing, and relentless, feels like it was made for the Cowboys' identity. In a league that increasingly leans on finesse and quick passes, Williams brings that old-school edge. And with the offensive line the Cowboys have built, he has the tools and the support to thrive. Now, to be clear, the Cowboys aren't lacking depth at running back. Miles Sanders and Jaden Blue, while both dealing with injury issues during camp, aren't out for the long term. Sanders in particular brings veteran experience and a proven track record when healthy. Blue, on the other hand, has shown flashes of explosiveness that could make him a dangerous change-of-pace weapon. And rookie Phil Maffa, while still adjusting to the speed and complexity of the NFL, has the size and skill set to be a contributor down the road. The difference right now is that Williams is healthy, in rhythm, and has earned the trust of the coaching staff. This decision also says something about how the Cowboys are approaching 2025. They aren't just plugging players in based on name recognition or past resumes. They're rewarding performance, chemistry, and consistency. Williams came into camp with something to prove, and he's proving it every single day. If you've been following the reports out of Oxnard, you know he's been running with power, breaking tackles, catching passes out of the backfield, and showing the kind of leadership you want from your starting back. Saturday's matchup against the Ravens will be another chance for Williams to solidify his hold on RB1. The Ravens' defense is known for its physicality, even in the preseason, which means this will be a good test for how well Williams can handle contact and stay productive against a tough front seven. It will also be an opportunity to see how the Cowboys mix him into different offensive looks. Will they use him in screens? Will they run him between the tackles to set up play action for Dak Prescott? Will they lean on him in short yardage situations to move the chains? All of these are questions that could start to get answered under the lights at At&T Stadium. From a bigger picture perspective, Williams winning the RB1 job early gives the Cowboys something they haven't had in recent years: clarity in the run game before the regular season starts. Too often, teams enter Week 1 still experimenting with their rotation, leading to inconsistent production. By establishing Williams as the lead back now, the Cowboys are giving the offense a chance to build rhythm and timing around him. That's going to benefit not just Williams, but also Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and the rest of the skill players. A strong running game opens up everything. It forces defenses to respect play action, it keeps pass rushers honest, and it helps control the clock. And here's the part I think Cowboys fans should get excited about. The combination of Williams' style and this offensive line could be special. Behind Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, and the rest of this unit, Williams can be the hammer that wears down defenses over 4 quarters. When you add in the speed and skill of Sanders, Blue, and potentially Maffa, You've got a backfield that can hit defenses from multiple angles. In today's NFL, that versatility is gold. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is still preseason. There's work to be done, and Williams will have to keep proving himself every week. Still, the fact that the Cowboys have a clear RB1 before the second preseason game, that's a good sign. It means the coaching staff sees what they need to see, and it means the offense is starting to take shape. So, Cowboys Nation, I'll throw it to you. Do you believe Javonte Williams is the right choice to lead this backfield in 2025? Can he be the tone setter that finally brings the Dallas running game back to the elite level we saw in the early Ezekiel Elliott years? Or do you think the Cowboys should keep the competition open deeper into preseason? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear where you stand. When the Dallas Cowboys announced Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach, there were plenty of questions about what kind of energy, vision, and leadership he would bring to one of the NFL's most storied franchises. Less than a full offseason into his tenure, the answer is becoming clear. Schottenheimer is building something different in Dallas. And it's not just about playbooks and schemes. It's about culture, connection, and creating an environment where players want to give their absolute best. The Cowboys' final days in Oxnard, California gave us a perfect example of Schottenheimer's approach. In the past, rookie initiation was simple. Sing in front of the team, maybe do a quick skit, and call it a night. It was more tradition than entertainment. But Schottenheimer decided that 2025 was the year to shake things up. Instead of forcing every rookie to step up to a microphone and belt out a song, he gave them freedom. He told the 2025 draft class to put on a full talent show. Their choice of act, their style, their creativity. What followed was a night of laughter, energy, and bonding. Players roasted coaches, pulled off impressions, told stories, and let their personalities shine. Schottenheimer himself admitted he was a major target, predicting beforehand that the rookies would take their best shots at him. And when it happened, he embraced it. He laughed along, clapped, and encouraged the young guys to keep going. By the end of the night, Schottenheimer said it was one of the best rookie shows he'd ever seen in his NFL career. This might seem like a small thing, just a team having some fun in the middle of training camp. But it's bigger than that. These moments build trust. They break down barriers between rookies and veterans, between players and coaches. They create a locker room where communication is open and honest, where players feel valued beyond just their performance on the field. That's the kind of culture that sustains a team through the grind of a 17-game regular season and hopefully a deep playoff run. And make no mistake, this isn't a one-time event. All off-season, Schottenheimer has been setting this tone. He's taken the team on a paintball trip to build competition and teamwork in a fun setting. He's organized traditional Greek dance lessons for the quarterbacks of all things, just to get them out of their comfort zones and working together in new ways. Every one of these activities has the same goal: to make this team tighter, more connected, and more willing to fight for each other when it matters most. If you've followed the Cowboys over the past few seasons, you know that talent has never been the issue. Dallas has been stacked with Pro Bowlers and all-pro level players on both sides of the ball. What's been missing is that little extra, the bond, that turns a talented roster into a championship-caliber team. The great teams don't just play for themselves, they play for each other. They believe in their mission and they trust their leadership. That's what Schottenheimer is working to instill from day one. The players seem to be buying in. Veterans have talked openly about how much they enjoy the atmosphere Schottenheimer is creating. Younger players say they feel more comfortable approaching coaches with questions or ideas. Even in practice, there's a noticeable uptick in energy and focus. These aren't just casual observations. They're the signs of a team that's building momentum before the first real snap of the season. And while all this off-field bonding is great for team chemistry, it also has a direct impact on performance. Football is a game of split-second decisions and total trust in the guy next to you. When the offensive line knows the running back will hit the hole hard, they block with that extra bit of conviction. When the defense knows the secondary has their backs, pass rushers attack with more aggression. This is the chain reaction Schottenheimer is looking to spark. And we have to give credit to the timing of these changes. After several seasons where the Cowboys fell short in the postseason despite high expectations, the team needed a fresh approach. The arrival of Schottenheimer isn't just a coaching change, it's a cultural reboot. By setting the tone early, he's ensuring that when adversity hits, and it will, this team has the resilience to push through. Saturday's preseason game against the Ravens won't just be a test of individual players fighting for roster spots. It will be a reflection of the environment Schottenheimer has cultivated. Are players flying to the ball on defense? Are backups stepping in and playing with confidence? Are rookies showing no hesitation when their number is called? All of these will be signs that the culture shift is taking hold. For Cowboys fans, this should be encouraging. We've seen teams in the NFL turn the corner not just because of one superstar or a flashy scheme, but because the locker room came together. Look at the 2022 Eagles or the 1999 49ers. Both teams went from talented but underachieving to true contenders once their culture shifted. The Cowboys may be on that same path right now. So here's the question for you, Cowboys Nation. Do you think Schottenheimer's culture-driven approach can be the X factor that finally pushes Dallas back to the Super Bowl? Do you believe that these team-building moments, from paintball battles to rookie talent shows, actually translate into wins on Sundays? Let's hear your take in the comments, because if you ask me, this new energy in Dallas feels like something special brewing. As the Dallas Cowboys gear up for their second preseason matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, there's a sense around this team that something is clicking. And it's not just about talent, though this roster is stacked. It's about clarity, culture, and confidence. In just a few weeks of training camp, we've seen two major developments that could define the 2025 season. Javonte Williams locking in as RB1 and Brian Schottenheimer's culture shift taking full root. Let's start with the obvious, clarity at running back. For years now, the Cowboys' backfield has been a revolving door of injuries, inconsistent play, and uncertainty. Even when Ezekiel Elliott was still here, questions swirled about his workload, explosiveness, and the balance between him and Tony Pollard. Since then, the Cowboys have been searching for that player who can own the role and set the tone. And now, before the second preseason game, they seem to have found him in Javonte Williams. What makes this so valuable is timing. It's one thing to figure out your starting running back by week 5 of the regular season, but by then, you've already burned through a chunk of the schedule without your offense truly knowing its identity. The Cowboys don't have that problem in 2025. With Williams already working as the feature back in camp, the offensive line, quarterbacks, and receivers can all start building rhythm around his style. This is the kind of advantage that doesn't show up in preseason stats, but it pays huge dividends once the games matter. Now add in the other piece of the puzzle, culture. Schottenheimer's leadership style is already reshaping how this team interacts, competes, and even laughs together. The rookie talent show wasn't just a night of jokes, it was a statement that this is a team where everyone has a voice and everyone can contribute to the energy in the building. The paintball trip, the Greek dance lessons for quarterbacks, the shift from rigid traditions to creative ones, these aren't gimmicks, they're tools for building trust. And here's where these two stories connect. Having a clear RB1 and having a united locker room feed off each other. Think about it. Williams running with confidence in practice inspires the offensive line to block harder, which inspires the coaches to commit to the run game, which in turn keeps the defense fresher and more aggressive. At the same time, a tight-knit team culture means that when Williams takes a hit and fights for extra yards, the sideline explodes with energy. This is how momentum builds inside a season. If you've been watching the Cowboys closely over the last decade, you know how rare it is to see all of these elements aligning before week 1. We've had great rosters without the right leadership structure, we've had good leadership but question marks at key positions. In 2025, we're seeing both areas strengthen at the same time. That's why this preseason feels different. The game against Baltimore is going to be more than just another warm-up. It's a chance to showcase what this new-look Cowboys team is becoming. Expect to see Williams getting early carries, testing himself against a Ravens defense that has a reputation for physicality. Expect to see backups playing with urgency, because Schottenheimer's message has been clear. If you're on this roster, you're part of something bigger than yourself, and you'd better bring your best. And while it's still early, you can't ignore how these preseason vibes might carry into the regular season. The NFC East isn't going to hand anything to Dallas. Philadelphia still has one of the deepest rosters in football, Washington is rebuilding with a new coaching staff and energy, and the Giants, well, they're unpredictable enough to cause problems if you overlook them. But the Cowboys have one thing the rest of the division might not: the combination of top-tier talent and a revitalized culture. This is also where depth becomes crucial. Miles Sanders isn't just a backup, he's a proven veteran who can step in and produce. Jaden Blue has flashed big play potential when healthy. Phil Maffa may not see heavy carries early, but he has the raw tools to contribute in specialized roles. With Williams as the lead back, these players can focus on their strengths without the pressure of wearing down your RB1 over the course of a long season. For Schottenheimer, this preseason has been more than just evaluations. It's been about setting the standard. Every player knows the expectations, every position battle is being earned, and every small win in practice is being celebrated. It's a far cry from the sterile, business-only vibe that can sometimes take over NFL locker rooms. This team is playing with joy and edge, and that's a dangerous combination for opponents. So, Cowboys Nation, here's where we stand. We've got a clear starting running back in Javonte Williams. We've got a head coach who understands how to connect with his players and get them to buy into something bigger. We've got depth across the roster and a defense that already looks ready to feast once the season kicks off. All of the ingredients for a special season are here. It's just a matter of execution. The question now is simple. Do you believe this Cowboys team has what it takes to turn this preseason momentum into a playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl appearance? Do you see Williams not just as a solid RB1, but as a player who can carry this offense when needed? And do you believe Schottenheimer's culture shift can keep this locker room locked in when adversity hits in December and January? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because if this preseason is any indication, the Cowboys aren't just preparing for another year. They're building for something bigger, and this time, it feels like they mean it.